Guys, check this out. I think I learned this from TikTok. If you take an object and slowly go in, you can find the balance point of the object. This one is bottom heavy. This is a confetti cannon. Let's try it. Boom. If you start out, it works. Try it. What does it mean for you to live a balanced life? I think it means to live a life where your values and needs are met. However, no two people have the same values. For you, a balanced life may look like this, where spending time with family is more important than making more money. But for someone else, it may look like this, where they think the opposite, but both are right in their own mind. And neither can say who's right, only God can judge. So a balanced life is dependent on your values, and the easiest way to lose balance in your life is to take actions that don't match or uphold your values. If you do that, you end up at a point far from where you want to be. And that's exactly what happened to your boy right here. So last year, I was a full-time college student at a part-time job, and I was in a relationship. And I was trying to build this YouTube channel all while I was still playing the roles of being a son, a brother, a friend, and many more things. And I think we all can relate to that. We all play a lot of roles in our own lives. I was in a place where I was really grateful for the opportunities in front of me, and I wanted to make the best of them to be able to give back to the people I cared for. But hustle culture got the best of me, and I really dove into toxic productivity. And that caused me to neglect my health, the relationships I had, and the experiences open to me at that time. Although I was hustling with good intentions, because I didn't check my values, and if my hustle lined up with them, I lived an unbalanced life. So my first tip for you guys is to set a time of reflection once a month or every week to assess whether or not the actions you have been taking line up with your true values and goals. That way you can assess whether or not you're on the right path. I think it's so easy for time to fly by and have like 3 or 2 months go by and you realize that you've been neglecting your health. Like you've just been downing junk food and focusing on your education and homework and midterms, and realize that you are very unhealthy for a person your age. Or maybe like 2 weeks go by and you notice and you don't even realize the impact your studies has been making on your relationships and how you might not be meeting people's needs as much as you should be. Having a time of reflection is like the reminder we get on our cars to check our tire pressure. We got to make sure everything is tuned up correctly before our journey. And you got to make sure you're taking the right steps for the life you want to live. If you're someone who is already self-aware and is confident in your values, and you're just looking for a practical way to maintain it all, my second tip is good for you. Utilize block days. A block day is a day that revolves around one main activity. Whether that be school or hanging out with friends, it takes a big block of your time that day. And I found block days to help with time efficiency, and it also enriches your experience during those days. We all play so many different roles, and it can get really conflicting sometimes. Having block days makes it easier to where you don't have to transition between so many activities, and you get to be more in the present moment. You don't have the thought in the back of your mind of, oh, what time is it? Do I need to be somewhere else? Or what's the next thing I have to get off my to-do list for today? I'd rather have like a full day set out where I just strictly focus on studying and my homework. And that way, maybe the next day, I can have just a full time of self-care and relaxing and enjoying time with my friends. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, please support it by leaving a like and maybe subscribing. That way, this video pushes out to more people. Make sure you watch the video all the way, because I'm pretty sure my fourth tip, specifically my fourth tip, is something you haven't heard before, and it's underrated, and you can use it to do wonders in your life. My third tip I have for you is just to be more organized and to think ahead. Use the resources you have available to you to keep track of where your time is going. Like for me, I have a calendar and a daily to-do list. I think keeping the habit of using an agenda is also really nice, but there's so much more tools that you can be using, even digital tools like Google Calendar or on the iPhone or anything. It all falls back to that premise of being able to look at your life and the actions you're taking and assess whether or not they line up with your true values. And if they don't, change. If they do, keep on moving forward. My fourth tip I have for you is my favorite one so far, and it's apply the Parkinson's law to your life. Are you guys familiar with those students where they always leave their assignments to the very last minute and they procrastinate, but somehow they always seem to get their stuff done and produce good results? Although it might seem unhealthy and also a very stressful habit, I think there's a reason why it's pretty effective. And it has to deal with my tip number 4 for you, which is using the Parkinson's law in your life. Hey Siri, define Parkinson's law.
Parkinson's law means the notion that work expands to fill the time available for its completion.
Let me read that one more time. The notion that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. Also meaning the time you give something is all the time you need to complete a job. I think I learned this from Mel Robbins, and it was from a story to where she was assigned like a big paper to write, and she only had a week. And usually that paper takes like maybe months to write, but she was only given a week, and she was still able to get it done. I think by applying this law, it cuts out a lot of the fluff that we add into our work. I think there's a line where it might be too much and quality of your work is taking damage from you not putting as much time into it. But on the other side of the line, we can also just be a lot more efficient with our time and still produce good quality work at a faster rate. I was first skeptical when I first heard this law, but I did apply it to my studies. And it might sound bad, but I would either usually leave assignments to the last minute or I would get them done right away. I focused a lot of my attention on the things that I wanted to get done, and I would challenge myself to complete something maybe within an hour, complete something within 2 hours. And I honestly found good results. Like I got good grades from it. Like I wasn't lacking in the quality of education I was getting. Okay, maybe sometimes some of the classes I just sped through. I think we all have some classes that we speed through. But for classes that I was genuinely interested in and that were adding to my career, I didn't feel like it was taking away from me, but allowed me to maintain a balanced life. Push yourself and see what your limits are and what you can accomplish with the time and opportunities you're given. You can probably do a lot more, and you just never know. Alright, so you made it to the last tip. Here it is for you guys. Part of living a balanced life is being okay when things are out of balance. I think there's a lot of self-inflicted pain that we put ourselves through when we don't learn to accept things for how they are and we dwell on how things could be. But if we learn to let go and focus on the things that are in our control, I think our mental health can thrive. I think no matter what, at some point, life is going to hit you in your throat. And you just can't be balanced. And it's learning how to be okay with that. Well, there you guys have it. 5 tips to help you maintain a work-life balance as a student. I really hope this information has helped you. And if it has, please consider checking out the rest of my videos. I hope I see you in the next one. Deuces.